Alrighty, guys, what's going on? Different angle today than you're used to, and it's because I'm in my house. I am going to do what's actually been requested, and I'm going to show you how to break in some bags. You'll see this pot of water here. That's not for today. That was for earlier. I had some mobs that I was doing in softener, and I'll get into that. But today I'm just going to show you how I condition a bag, how I make it kind of how I want it to be. To start off, I'm going to go into a couple bags that I have broken in and the different ways I've broken them in. You'll see my daughter right back there. She's out here playing with my K cups, and my son's sleeping, wife's working, so figured I could do this review while I have some time. So first off, here's my mantis. Okay, so my mantis, I did not do anything with. They haven't been conditioned. They haven't been anything. They've been thrown. The one thing I have done with them is use this OxyClean Color Boost. I want to show you guys this. This is what I use, and it might be backwards. I'm sorry if the whole video is backwards, but I have to see what I'm doing so that I can see what you guys can see. So the OxyClean Color Boost, it's just like, it's a really mild detergent. It works really well to freshen up bags that may be kind of dirty from throwing a lot. So I do like to use that every once in a while. But these mantis have not been uh, artificially broken in whatsoever, and they're actually fairly floppy. I know it doesn't look floppy, but they're pretty decent for a mantis, and they feel great. They're really soft. Next up, I have my Pro Snipers. These are my original Pro Snipers. They've never been conditioned because I really do not recommend conditioning Pro Snipers, okay? I just want to get that out there right off the bat. I do not recommend conditioning Pro Snipers. They get far too loose, far too floppy, and you can't bring them back. I've tried. It doesn't work. I had to sell them. So they're one of those bags that I don't like to condition. And on that same note, I do not like to condition carpet. Okay, so I'll get into that a little deeper, but these bags were actually boiled for a couple minutes, and that's really it. They've been boiled and thrown a crap ton. And of course, these ones are pretty floppy. That was slow side, so not nearly as floppy, but fast side's pretty good. They feel amazing. They're right where I like them. So that's just simple boil. 2 minutes on a rolling boil on either side. I'm sorry, 1 minute on either side, so 2 minutes total. And that's really it. These are my Cat 2s. These are my red ones. And these I literally just hand washed and then tumbled, and I've thrown them a ton. But then I wanted them to go just a touch further in the break-in process. So what I did was actually soaked them in a little bit of conditioner. So I want to show you guys this. This is the Downy Wrinkle Guard. This is what I use. And I do like maybe not even half a cap. And I might have said I soaked them in conditioner. I didn't. I soaked them in softener. I don't remember what I said. But I do maybe a half cap full of this in some pretty warm water, let them soak for about an hour, agitate them as they're in there, just kind of massage them in the water as they're all in there, and then rinse them out, hand wash them with Dawn. You guys know I love my Dawn. So do that. These came out absolutely freaking perfect for me. That didn't look floppy at all. It's not crazy floppy, but they're just so perfect. They're like kind of just like the Pro Snipers are, and that's right where I like them to be. They feel really nice, feel really soft, and they just have a really good feel to them. Lastly, I have the Game Changer Steadies. Just got these not too long ago, and I actually have a picture of what they looked like prior to conditioning. That picture is right here. So pretty stiff, and that's with the slow side on my fingers there. So here is slow side on my fingers, and definitely much floppier. I know it doesn't look crazy, but it's a pretty big difference, and they feel a ton different as you're throwing them. And I know it doesn't even look floppy at all, but I mean, you can see it flopping around. They're much floppier than they used to be. They feel really good. The speeds were not compromised because of how I do it. I condition and then hand wash with my trusty Dawn. Just the blue stuff, guys. I mean, if you want to get another different smell, that's great, but you don't have to. You can get really whatever Dawn you want, honestly, and probably any dish soap would work, Palmolive, whatever, but I prefer Dawn. So that is before and after on the Steady 2.0s. These are actually pretty solid bags. I'm enjoying these quite a bit so far. But let's get those out of the way. Let's get into the fire assaults. Okay, so I got these brand new a couple days ago. Came home from my work trip and they were here. I know lighting sucks here. Let's try this out. Maybe that'll help. Holy crap, look at that. You can see now. Forgot I had a light above me. I never use that light, like, ever. So the fire assaults, I've just heard good things. You know, they're slightly different speeds. I literally just recorded a review of the fire starters, and I don't hate them, which, funny enough, a ton of people hate them. I don't. So I wanted to try out the fire assaults. You know, they're a little thicker, a little slower, difference in the sides. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I heard that, Peanut. Yeah, you too did. Yeah. Uh, so this one is brand new. Okay. So try to bounce it a little. I mean, that's fairly flat. They're stiff, right? I did do one bag as a finished product for you guys earlier, which is super weird, just doing one bag at a time. I'm used to doing all four. But the material feels much, much softer, and it's definitely floppier. It's not crazy floppy because this is just a more full bag, but the material is definitely softer, definitely floppier, and I feel like they're probably more likely to go into the hole now. These bags still are going to take a ton of breaking in. I know that. Fire bags are kind of like that. The assaults are just like that. I'm sorry, these are the assaults. The starters are like that. You got to throw them a ton, do a ton of softener, do it, all that stuff. So let's get into it. Step one, you grab your favorite beer. For me today, it's Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Delicious. Always helps the process. Always got to have your favorite beer. Step two, you get a conditioner that is paraben free. Okay? No parabens, no silicones, none of that. That's the really slippery stuff. That's what you want to avoid. On the back of this, it actually says 0% parabens, 0% mineral oil, whatever. This is just Pantene. We get it at Costco. You can get whatever conditioner you want. You can do a tea tree oil. You can do, well, not tea tree oil, a tea tree conditioner. You can do whatever you want. Just make sure that when you're done, you rinse it out and you hand wash with Dawn. That's the biggest thing that I can say. Everybody does conditioner and then they like double rinse cycle in the wash and that's it. No, that's the wrong way to do it, in my opinion at least. The bags stay just too fast and it's not really what you want. So keep that there. On that note, do not condition a carpet. It just sticks with it for too long. You can't get it out. Do not condition pro snipers. Just way too loose, way too floppy. They're gross. I don't like to boil carpet. It speeds it up and it keeps it fast. You cannot get that back, so do not boil carpet. I don't really like to boil a lot of bags, but like pro snipers for a couple minutes, any ultra bag for a couple minutes, I'm okay with a boil. But after that boil, I typically condition, unless it's a pro sniper. I'm not going to condition that. So let's get into it. I already see the ticker at almost 8 minutes, but you guys asked for this video, okay? You guys did. So I'm just going to do one bag, just not really start to finish, but I mean, kind of. And you are going to hear the water, and it is going to make you have to pee, and that's okay, because that's what you guys wanted. So kind of warm water. I mean, you don't have to make it super hot, right? Just warm, and you'll see as I'm getting the bag wet, I'm massaging the fabric, and that's the biggest part. I mean, you're massaging the fabric the entire time. You're going to get some strong thumbs out of this, I can tell you right now. So keep massaging the fabric. Bag's pretty wet now. That's good. Kind of where you want it. Turn off the water so you guys can hear me. Normally keep it running, but whatever. So I prefer to do one side at a time. That's just me. So put a little squirt on there, and that's, I mean, a lot of people say like quarter-sized amount, whatever. I just put like a squirt, squirt and a half, something like that. And it depends on the fabric. Depends on, how much it soaks it in, whatever. But put that on there. At this point, kind of rub it all in lightly, okay? Just get a nice light coat over the entire bag. You don't want to glob it. You don't want there to be a huge glob of conditioner on your entire bag. I mean, you don't want it to be like bathing in conditioner, right? You just want it to be just kind of on there. A nice film that is going to get soaked in a little bit. You can see I'm kind of working the seams and the corners, especially the closing stitch. That's normally a kind of a tight point on bags. So that's basically how I have it. It's just a film on there. It's not a ton. There's no globs anywhere, but leave it like that. I flip it over, do the same thing on the slow side, just a couple little squirts. And if you use too much, guys, it's not the end of the world. Don't get me wrong, it's really not. I mean, you can massage it in, or you can just wipe it off, rinse it off, do whatever you got to do. But get this all worked around on the side. Get it worked in. And at this point, you have two options. as it's sitting here like this, you can set it down, which is what I do on some bags. You can set it down, do all of your bags, and then start with the first bag that you did, and then rinse it out. Or you can just immediately rinse it out, and that's typically what I prefer to do. The conditioner, I'm not trying to let it soak in there and really attach to the fabric and all that. I'm just trying to get it to loosen the fabric a little bit and make it a little bit softer. That's the big thing. So right now I got I got my nice light film on there. Now I go to massage it, right? So I'll just start on one side, start digging my thumbs into it, kind of smashing it around, turn it a little bit. Definitely focus on corners. Focus on corners and edges, because that's what's going to be near the hole. That's what you want to fall in, right? You want it to be nice and hole friendly. Keep massaging, turn it around, flip over to the slow side here, do the exact same thing, even though my fingers are on the back of the bag doing that. I still like to hit that slow side, hit the corners with my thumbs, really work it. I got it all the way around. And at this point, I like to kind of beat it up. I like to be a little aggressive with it. Not super aggressive, but you see on the closing seam here, I'm just going to start rolling it. I'm rolling it. See, I'm digging my fingers in and grabbing it and pulling a little bit. Not pulling hard, but just kind of jamming it in, pulling it out. Jamming it in, pulling it out. That's what she said. I'm kidding. Couldn't help it though. But you want to get that whole edge, the seam, everything, and you'll feel it get softer as you're doing this. So at that point, you're basically ready to rinse it out. So you can see from where it started, it's already a lot floppier. And of course it's wet, so that's going to happen because you have the weight pulling on it, but definitely floppier. So at this point, turn the water back on, nice and warm, and just rinse it out. I like to use my hand kind of flat there and just kind of push as much out as I can. You'll kind of feel the fabric go from slimy to a little more sticky. Not necessarily sticky, but you'll feel the difference. You'll feel the fabric kind of feel like it did right before you, or right as you were rinsing it initially. So you got that on there. Just kind of rinse it out. You're just kind of trying to rinse out the excess. You can massage it a little bit like I was prior. Just kind of keep rotating it. And at this point, this is when I wash it. Okay? This is when I hand wash. So I take my Dawn, and there's no set amount, guys. Some people say a couple drops, whatever. Just don't soak it. I just put a little swirl on there, right? You can't see it because it's blue on a blue bag. That's okay. Just start working it in. You'll see it getting bubbly. And you know what? That's fine. It's supposed to get bubbly. Using the Dawn is not for people who want a super quick break-in, a super lazy break-in, whatever. But I like to do this because this really gets rid of any residue. With my bags, I have not had any issue with any sort of residue. Flip it over to the side you haven't washed yet. Put the same amount on there, a couple of swirls. Work it in. Yeah. So on my bags, I haven't had any. Kylie, please stop. I haven't had any sort of residue issues because I'm pretty sure it's because of hand wash. And I preach this on all the sites because people are like, yeah, condition it, rinse it, throw them, it's great. Like, well, your bag's a point or two faster than it should be on both sides because you didn't rinse that conditioner out. You didn't wash it out, actually. So at this point, you got it washed. I mean, it's not a long process, guys. It's 14 minutes into a video. I was talking for the whole first part. And now as you're rinsing this out, you'll really feel the difference in the fabric. I don't know if my headphones are picking up on that squeak. I mean, it's like literally squeaky clean, right? It's kind of what you're going for. As I'm rinsing the entire bag, I keep massaging it. I'm trying to work the pellets around, work out any soap bubbles that may be in there. But it's also just a little extra working of the fabric to loosen it up, I get as much out as I can, flip it over, And at first you're going to see bubbles coming out and stuff. After a little while you really won't. But I will show you my little trick at the end to know if you got it clean enough or rinsed out well enough, actually. Because it's really by feel, and so many times I thought I was done with the bag and I went to dry it and I still saw bubbles and I was like, son of you know, it's not what I wanted to do. But I'm gonna guess it's okay here. I'm gonna hope it's okay here. So at this point, I think it's all rinsed out well enough, right? Soap's all gone. I don't feel any slickness from conditioner. At this point, kind of take the bag, do it this way, and bunch it up at the V, right? And squeeze the top. See the water squirt out? Now I turn it and do the next corner. Shake the resin down, do the next corner. Now you're not seeing any bubbles there, which is good. If you see bubbles at this point, that's when you need to rinse it again. Okay, so no bubbles here, just the water falling. Turn it, shake the resin, get the third corner, squeeze. At this point, there's not a whole lot of water in there. You know, fourth corner, squeeze. And I like to do this because it takes care of all the corners. It applies even pressure to the bag, and it kind of stretches the fabric a little bit, right? And if you stretch it a little bit, it's going to get a little looser, going to get a little more floppy. And I'm not doing it crazy. I'm not squeezing it with all my might, but I am taking it. I'm just kind of giving it a little squeeze. You know, I'm tightening up the resin. Definitely tighter than just sitting there. So just tighten it up. It kind of squirts the water out. And then at this point, I actually throw the bags in the dryer. Once I've done this to all four, I throw the bags in the dryer on low, only low, never higher. There's really no need. On low for an hour. And that's more than enough time to get them dry. It's more so just to simulate throwing. And it breaks them in, gets them nice and loose, gets them soft, gets them the way you want it so that you can throw a tournament tomorrow with the bags that you just got today. So hang on, babe, please. Please hang on. So that is how I break in bags, guys. I'm sorry that so many of you requested this video and it's a boring ass 17 minutes, but that's how I do it. If you guys have any questions, let me know, please. I typically do my best to respond to any inquiries on my posts and any comments on my videos. So if you guys have any questions on how to break in bags, please let me know. And thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Thanks.